Welcome to the 103rd video in our series about Unix tools. In the last video, we created archives for a Git tag so we can share the code with other people who don't have or don't want to use Git. The problem with using Git archive was that it included the git ignore file, which we don't want. So I did a little research to find out how to fix that problem. And you can use something called git attributes. So we have to create a file called git attributes, and we need to put these two lines in it. So I'm going to split git attributes. I'll come down here and mark these two lines. Get rid of that trailing blank line and save it. Now, finding documentation for this was difficult, and they don't really tell you things in a logical way. So there was some trial and error involved. They say you have to commit this file or nothing's going to work. So the first thing I did was made sure I had the file, and then I did a git status, and it's going to show question marks because it's brand new. So I did a git add, and then I did a git commit. It showed everything's fine. There's the file. And I immediately said, okay, let's test it. There's my Git archive. And I saw that, and there it is. It shows that the thing is gone. So it's a little spooky. Are we sure that's what happened? So the smart thing to do is to remove this file so we know we're getting a fresh file. There's no way it could be anything else. And we do it. Here's where I slipped up. Okay, do it just like last time, and the git ignore is there. That's what I wanted to show you. And so even though we added the file, we did the commit, we did everything that was on the web page, it didn't work for me. And it turns out that you have to do the commit, and the commit must be in there before the revision that you want. And so there's a special flag to beat that, and that's the work tree attributes. And if you put the work tree attributes, it says, hey, when you look for git attributes, don't look in the repo. It's not checked in. Look in the working directory. And that works. But man, I don't want to have to remember that. And so my brain immediately said, hey, we'll just move the commit with git rebase. And so, because that file can't conflict with any other file, this is the first time that file was in the repo. So how far back do I need to go? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, probably somewhere around 4 times. I need to get this commit before this tag, and then everything's going to be great. So I said, git rebase is our hero. So let's try it. Let's go back 4 revisions, see what we've got. And it says you can reorder these, so I'm going to take this one, I'm going to move it up to 0, and I'm going to save it. It says, yeah, we did it. And then if I look, where's my tag? Okay. There's 1.0, but something weird has happened. Let's look for that v1.0. It's not there. The tag is not showing. So somehow something bad has happened. We've broken our repo. Okay? We've broken our repo. And we don't know why. And not only that, there doesn't look to be any kind of easy solution to fix this. So the tag shows, let's do a git show v1.0. This is it, our 1.0 release. Change name of new man page to match test program. And if we git log, there it is. That's the commit, but the tag is not pointing here. The tag doesn't show. Ooh. So, what can we do? We can try anyway and see what we get. Okay, so let's try this one without the work tree attributes because we moved the commit. And even though we can't see the tag in the log, maybe it's going to work. No. It found something, but everything's broken. What have we learned in this video? We've learned that trying to get random stuff off a web page and use it doesn't always work. And at this point, our repo is confused because we don't know where the tag went and we don't know why this is showing up even though we moved the tag. We removed, I can't say it. I moved this commit before the tag. But somehow, because it involves the tag, Git is confused. So, it turns out there's a connectivity tool to check things, to see what's going on, called Git Fisk. And when we run it, we see all these dangling blobs. We've got a dangling tree. All kinds of problems. The dangling blobs aren't too bad, but a dangling tree makes me nervous. And so at this point we have to go back to Git Fisk and ask ourselves, what is a dangling tree? It doesn't show. So we look for dangling. And it says objects that exist but that are never directly used. And if you don't want to see it, they've got a no dangling. Well, how do you find out about one of these? Let's do a git show on this hash. And it shows this tree. Okay. If you look at a blob, it shows some commit. And it's not really showing us much about it. It's not showing us any metadata. It's just showing us, what's in there. If I look at this, I know this is factorial.h, but how would I know that from the blob? And then you say, well, can Git show me more? It says for plain blobs, it shows the plain contents. For trees, it shows the names. Okay? And for tags, it'll show this. So, okay. They had pretty, and they had, if you remember, email was a pretty good format. So, let's go back and do our git fisk. And then git show format equal email. And this guy. And we don't get any more than we did last time, even though we specified the format. Will we get more on one that's not a tree blob? No. You can see that get show is ignoring the format, clearly. And so we could use pretty. Okay. So let's try pretty. Still, we're not getting anything from that. So at this point, what would you do? This is why we have to make backups, because the Git repository is totally broken, and we've learned a couple of things, which one of them is don't move something before the tag, and the other thing was that this Git attributes thing should go in at the same time you put the Git ignore at the beginning of the project. Putting it in later is not going to work well. So we've run out of time in this video. And normally, I think most Thai people would delete a video like this and say, wow, it didn't work, delete the video. But I don't want to hide the ugly side of Git. Git has an ugly side, and that ugly side is once you break something, it's very hard to fix. It's very hard to understand what's broken. We didn't get any error message from our rebase, but clearly it broke something. And that's why you make backups. The best thing to do if this happens to you would be to totally delete the tree and restore from a backup. And then, doctor, it hurts when I do that. Don't do that. So, you get the whole truth, which includes the nice things. We had some very wonderful Git rebase results earlier, and then this shows you a catastrophic Git rebase error that not only it did not crash, it did not show any error message, it did not say anything, it just broke the repo. Be careful. Git rebase can burn you. So, next time, I'm going to have to rescue myself. So, until then, thank you for listening.